Alright, what's up guys? So I got a video request from Nick Shug, and he wants me to talk about believing in God is childish. And I agree, in a way, because if you tell someone that is religious that you don't believe in God, they'll say, go to hell. And that's childish to me, because that's like a threat. That's like putting someone down for not believing in God, right? And the thing is, it should be a conversation on why this person doesn't believe in God, and you explain your reasons why you believe, right? And that's why it's childish right there. I guess another one is people that are religious deny that there's bad things in the Bible, because there is. There's discriminating things, there's slavery, there's even murder on there, rape, and they don't even want to talk about that, right? They act like it's not even on there, even though it says it in the Bible. And that's childish too. Even though there is good things in the Bible, and that's why they cherry pick. There's, like, you could pick things out of the Bible and use it for something in your life, right? Like, it's useful, you know? And another thing is, like, it's childish for, like, trying to force someone to believe in God, right? Trying to force someone to have faith. Forcing people to go to church on Sundays. Forcing people to pray, you know? Because that's up to them if they want to believe. That's up to them if they want to participate in the church, you know? And yeah, church has good things in there besides believing in God. You can volunteer, you can donate there, you can help raise charities or something, you know? Like, if they're legit, because not all of them are, right? But you can't force them to do it, and it's just childish when there's religious people like that, you know? And it's just childish too when people believe in God and people fight over it, over something that has no proof, really. No one showed evidence with their five senses, and it's something else. People will fight in war just for religion, and that's crazy, you know? And it's something else. It's crazy that people believe in God and Jesus when there's so many versions of Jesus. There's so many versions of a God. It's just childish when, like, you know, people have their own interpretation of it and they think they're 100% certain that this God is real. This isn't, you know? You know? What else? I guess it's childish too when, say, if you have kids and you're, like, forcing your religious beliefs onto them. The thing is, when you have kids, you let them decide what they believe in. They could become an atheist. Let them decide if they want to become a Christian or a Muslim or whatever it is, right? Like, parents that are religious can be childish, forcing their belief about God to their children, you know? And that's pathetic in a way. Trying to think of anything else. I guess believing in God can be childish when people are like standing out in public and trying to preach their religion, and they're trying to shout and scream and trying to annoy the public when there's people out there trying to go to work, for example, like, say they're in the city, right? And they hear that, and it could be disturbing, you know? But it could be childish when they raise their voice out loud about God and everything like that. But you're allowed to do it, though. You're allowed to have freedom of speech, and I have no problem with that. I just think it's like, it could be obnoxious how some of them can do it, them preaching about their religion and God, you know? It's childish. Trying to think of anything else with this one. I mean, fighting over religion, fighting who's right and who's wrong is childish regardless, you know? Even atheists can be childish, but I've seen a lot of religious people be more childish about their God, it seems. You know? Trying to think of anything else with this one. Yeah, I guess it could be childish when they deny science out there. When science proved a lot of things in this life and how things work. And, you know, they want to deny the science in a lot of things, and I think that's childish, right? And yeah, science can be manipulated. It could be very political, and it could be wrong when it's like manipulated and for money, you know. But there's a lot of science out there that proved a lot of things, and it helps how to figure out things about this world, right? So, religious people denying the science and saying that God did this without proof is childish, you know? I'll say it's childish, like, too, like, say if God is real, and why doesn't God help people that are going through unnecessary pain and suffering? And there's ones that don't even do wrong in this world. They obey the 10 Commandments, for example, and they still get punished, you know? That doesn't sound right. That sounds pretty childish to me. Say if God is real and is all-knowing and all-powerful and all good, right? Why is God biased on certain people, you know? Like, if you challenge those things about God and trying to say that God needs to take accountable for the bad things that happen in this world, right? Because it made everything, right? Then they just don't want to have a counter argument. They want to throw insults. They want to throw personal attacks on you, and that's childish, you know? Needs to be agree or disagree about God, you know? It shouldn't be about fighting and trying to throw personal insults and be violent, you know, about God, right? So, trying to think of anything else here. Like I said, there is good things out of the Bible and stuff, you know, but I don't think it's because of God. It's just someone wrote it. Someone wrote it for, like, tell it as a story, you know? It almost, like, a lot of the stuff in the Bible seems like a fairy tale, like how Jesus walked on water. Like something like this over here, you know? If you could see that. Jesus walking on that pond over there. You know? Like that. Or, Jesus healing people with his hands, you know? That's just unrealistic. That's humanly impossible, right? It's crazy. And people believe in that. And people believe in Adam and Eve, like talking to the snake. I guess like Noah's Ark, right? How all the animals are on the ship and he was able to sail them to the land when there was a big storm. That's humanly impossible back then, you know? It's childish, from what I see. Someone literally believes in that. It's childish to say that Jesus resurrected from the dead. That's humanly impossible as well. How come we don't see other humans doing that? It doesn't make sense. It just sounds like a story. It's just a metaphor to try to, like, have a subjective purpose to get through life, you know? Try to cherry pick what's out of the Bible with God and Jesus, and you put it in your own way with this life, you know? That's how I see it. But yeah, it's childish for people to think that's real. Jesus resurrected from the dead and he's forgiven everyone's sins, you know? And the thing is, there's still a lot of bad in this world. It didn't really do much. So, I don't know, it's just challenging the Bible, challenging God, challenging Jesus, you know? So, but that's about it though.